What is up everyone, Barricade here, and I'm bringing you guys a quick Gears of War 4 update video. I've been researching quite a bit of information that Game Informer has been putting out lately about Gears 4's multiplayer. And while the multiplayer aspect of the videos and things like that they've been talking about has been a little scarce, they don't have too much info, but they have been given a little interesting few pieces of information that I wanted to make a video about today. So simply put, before we get started, I want to say that this video, this gameplay itself, is from my Seriously TDM gameplay, a live match where I played a special event called Seriously TDM, where it was basically team deathmatch with twice the lives. Instead of having 15 respawns, it's 30. So I'll put a link in the description so you can watch the full gameplay, watch my full live commentary while playing this game mode. So definitely check it out if you like. But anyways, with the details that they've unleashed about the Gears 4's multiplayer is pretty interesting. So from what I heard is that the multiplayer itself, at least the way it sounds to me, is it sounds very fast paced. One thing that they mentioned that I've heard in a discussion video from Game Informer, and I'll put all the links to all those things so you can check them all out yourself. But basically the first piece of info I want to talk about that they said in a Game Informer video that I'll link in the description. Simply put, they stated that they added a new Volt mechanic for the cover. And what I basically mean by that is that in the new Gears game, when you're running, you don't even have to stop and hit cover before you can go over it. Throughout all the Gears of War games, Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment, whenever you wanted to go to cover, you always had to slam into it first and then go over it. Whereas in this one, you can actually run and then jump over it while you're running. So it's very fast paced. You don't have to hit the cover first anymore. You simply can just keep running, your character vaults over it, and you keep going. Like if you're like one of those racer people that jump over the things. So it's pretty crazy to know that you can do that. They added also a new melee mechanic with the knives. Like everyone has their own combat knife. Each faction, and pretty much you have a combat knife that you can basically one-shot melee kill people with. There's actually times where someone could be on the other side of cover. You could basically hit cover, sneak up behind them, and then basically do like a assassination type kill where you pretty much roll up behind them, stab them in the back of the head, and it pretty much kills them. Another thing too is they added the Volt kick, which is pretty much the mantle kick, and pretty much with the combination that you would like to do, that people will try to do, is simply you hit cover, do the kick them in the face, and while they're stunned, you do the knife execution and stab them in the head. So it's kind of like a weird one-shot melee kill that you can do. I know it sounds bad, it sounds like something people will definitely try to spam and try to abuse, but they actually said that the way to do it is actually, well, it's not hard, like excessively hard, it does require accurate timing. So if you run up to someone, Volt kick them, it doesn't mean, oh, you're gonna get an easy kill and just stab them. Like, no, you actually have to time it really well, and based on what they said, it's only recommended that you do it if you know how to do it well. So it's not something that like noobs will be able to spam really bad. So that was one thing I was kind of like interested, like, whoa, okay, so wait, you can basically hit cover, mantle kick him in the face, stab him in the head with a knife, and there's like basically melee kills and assassination type kills that you can use with the knife. And then the other thing that they stated in an article that they recently just posted, like maybe half an hour from me making this video, is that they stated that in this one there's two factions. Once again, it's finally human versus monster again. It's not human versus human like the way Gears of War Judgment was, which I'm like seriously thanking God right now, because honestly I hated how Judgment was human versus human. That just pissed me off. I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid as hell. And now that they made it human versus monster again, so that's the thing. I know that sounds kind of weird, but basically what they're saying is it's not COG versus Swarm, it's human versus monster. Meaning that you can actually play as the COG and the Outsiders. And then you play as either a COG soldier or an Outsider, and you fight against the Swarm. So that's the thing that's pretty cool. So when you play multiplayer now, you pretty much, instead of COG versus Locust, it's human versus monster or human versus Swarm. So pretty much when you play, you can play as JD from the COG, or you can play as a new character that's an Outsider, pretty much a Stranded, and fight alongside the COG soldiers against the Swarm. I almost said Locust, because the Swarm in multiplayer. So that's cool. So you have a huge variety of characters. So it's not like it's going to be COG versus Outsider or something weird like that. It's basically COG and Outsiders versus Swarm. So that's one thing I really wanted to point out, because that's awesome. That basically gives us a huge amount of characters that we can choose from. You know, we can play as JD, we can play as an outsider person, and then on the Swarm we just have a huge variety of different Swarm characters. Who knows, there can be a different variety of Swarm too. There can be Swarm and then, I don't know, something else. So it's basically like two factions against one, at least for now, when you play multiplayer. So that's one thing that was really cool, because it's a huge variety of characters. The other thing I really wanted to talk about as well is they stated that when it comes to the beta that's coming out later this year, like in spring or whatever, they basically stated that when you play as the human side of the beta, you can choose pretty much from JD, Kate, Dell, Kate's mom, which is a soldier that I'll post a screenshot right here of her, and then you can play as the Kate's uncle, which I believe is this guy right here. I could be wrong, but I think that's the two other extra characters you can basically play as. So you can choose between 3 cogs or 2 outsiders. So that's the cool thing. And as the one thing I thought was really strange, you know, it's gonna be weird. You know, we're not getting Marcus, Dom, Colbert anymore, so it's gonna feel so strange. But one thing I actually wanted to suggest that the coalition do, maybe you guys can maybe post it on a forum or something if you guys would like to. Maybe I will. We'll see. But one thing that I was thinking that they should do is they should make a classic character skin pack. Like maybe you can buy it or you get it with the season pass or something, and it maybe only costs like $5 or something. And when you buy it, you basically get all the old school characters. You know, you can play as Marcus, Dom, Colbert, Anya, Sam, Carmine, and you can choose between those characters when the new game comes out. That's something I wish they would do. I really hope they do that, because while Gears 4 will have a huge variety of new characters, honestly, I have to say that when it comes down to the end, I would still love to play as Dom in multiplayer, because Dom's my character. I've been playing as that dude since 2008, and I would really love to continue playing as him in multiplayer. And that was the thing. He wasn't even in Judgment, but I even went as far as a pre-order from Amazon so I can get him, so I could still play as him in multiplayer. So I really hope that in Gears of War 4 they create some type of like classic character skin pack where you can play as the old school characters, so we don't have to feel, you know, so different, so weird about it. But in the end, if we don't, then I'll probably end up just playing as like Kate or something, because I really think Kate's cool. I really like Sam a lot, so and she kind of reminds me of Sam, so I'll probably play as Kate or JD or just things like that. But I really hope they give us a chance to play as old characters. But anyways, guys, tell me what you guys think about this multiplayer details. Pretty much what they explain is that when you play against other players in multiplayer, it's human versus the Swarm. So it's not Cog versus Swarm, it's human versus Swarm. You can play as Cog and outsiders, and then you can play as the Swarm when you're on the Swarm team. And then also that we have new melee mechanics where we can basically vault over cover, kick them in the face, stab them with a knife, and things like that. So I thought it was just really interesting facts. I'll post the links to the article and the video discussion so you guys can check out and see more information about Gears 4. They actually talked a lot about the Swarm in that video that I'll link, so definitely check it out, and I'll also make a video about that another day. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see my most recent Dragon Ball video, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.